You know, on my channel, I often get a lot of noobs that really don't understand dual sports. They don't understand the different types of dual sports, and they often get a lot of things wrong, and they don't know how to choose the perfect dual sport for them. And so in this video, I'm going to clarify it all for you. So by the end of this video, you are going to understand what you need to know about dual sports, and it's going to help you choose the right dual sport for you.
Let's go for a ride. You are watching CycleCruza's all-in-one motorcycle channel. Subscribe today. Continue to leave video suggestions, but you may find what you're looking for by visiting my website at CycleCruza.com and click on the menu tab My Videos. And those are a bunch of playlists with all of my videos categorized in them to make it easier for you to navigate through. First off, for those of you guys that don't know, I own two dual sports. This is a dual sport / SuperMoto. I took a 2019 Yamaha YZ450FX, converted into a street legal SuperMoto / dual sport. The reason why I call it SuperMoto / dual sport is because it has SuperMoto wheels, but it has dual sport tires that can be used for both street and off-road. You just can't get too crazy off-road. These are 80-20 tires, 80% street, 20% off-road, as you can see here. But the good thing about these, see, it has the raised tread pattern there that grips the dirt a lot better than just regular street tires, like, you know, regular SuperMoto tires. So you're going to be able to do a lot more off-road. It's more versatile, and it also has a rubber compound that's a lot tougher, and it resists tearing off-road. And also they last a long time, especially with all this torque on this bike. These tires won't wear out so fast, so I'm gonna get, you know, I'm gonna be able to have these tires for a while, and I'll be able to do a lot of things on this bike. I'll tell you guys, the number one thing that noobs get wrong is they don't understand the different types of dual sports. They don't understand how important weight is with a dual sport. But let's talk about it, guys. I'm going to tell you all about it. Let me get out here. Let me get the riding here, baby. Let's have some fun on my most fun bike here. I love this bike. And we'll start it off with some hooliganism. Woo! Get some slide action up in here. Being an asshole. Getting some slide action up in here. That's why I love this bike, baby. I love it. I love the SuperMoto / dual sport setup. But why weight is really important, and I'm going to tell you about all the different classes of dual sports, is because if you go ride off-road at all, the heavier the bike, the more tiring you're going to be, and you could incur a hernia picking up the bike if it's a really heavy bike. And so that's the main reason why you have to be careful about weight. It just depends on what type of riding you're going to do. So I'm going to start with the heaviest dual sports and go down to the lightest dual sports, and I'll talk about power and everything, the basic stuff you need to know. Woo! See how this rips? Raw power, no emissions, corking crap on this bike, baby. Pure power, baby. Get some corner action up in here. Woo! Good times, baby. But anyways, the heaviest bikes, which a lot of noobs tell me, CycleCruza, you should get a Honda Africa Twin. That's the bike you need, man. No, not for me, but maybe for you. Adventure bikes are the heaviest dual sports you can buy. They generally, these bikes are obviously lower maintenance, and they have high power because they have the bigger engines on the bike. This is like the Honda Africa Twin, BMW GS 1200, Tiger, Triumph Tiger 800. There's a bunch of different, you understand what I'm talking. These are all the adventure bikes. These bikes, you can, I mean, you're going to do road, obviously, and highway. That's where it really excels, is doing long distance travel. That's why people get them. But yet it can do some dirt roads, and I've seen some people get, you know, riding creeks or whatnot and get a little crazy off-road. Woo! Good times, baby. But
You will not see an adventure bike riding on a gnarly single track in the woods. You will not see an adventure bike just raw dogging it in the woods like I do on my WR250R and YZ, where I'm just going in the raw woods, no path in sight, just riding over anything, mud pits, logs, crisscrosses of roots and branches and everything else. Because you cannot, that bike is so heavy that it's going to be very tiresome trying to maneuver that bike. And also, when you drop it, and you will drop it, you see I've dropped my WR250R, it's going to happen. I love it, baby. I'm getting crazy up in here. But you will, you drop the bike, guys. If you don't pick it up right, you could get a hernia, especially for those of you that are at risk for getting hernias. Those are the bikes you're probably going to get a hernia on. Not only that, it's a high chance you get stuck out there in the woods, and that's a big, heavy 500-pound plus bike to try to get out of those woods. Especially if you're getting stuck in mud, man. Woo, you better have a friend with you, boy. Otherwise, you're going to have to leave that bike out there. To be honest with you, I could ride my CBR 1000 RR on a dirt road. Definitely could be some Rangers up there. I need to get me a dual sport, man. God, this thing, I tell you, boy, the torque on this thing is oh, baby. Got bottom end everywhere. Got the J-Lo booty in torque, baby. So out of those bikes, though, if I were to get an adventure bike, so for those of you guys that are older, that don't like to get too crazy, don't want to mess in the woods or nothing, do some dirt roads and maybe mess around in the creek or something, I would probably go with a Honda Africa Twin or a Triumph Tiger 800. That would be my choice out of that group. But anyways, going to the next tier of dual sports would be the 600s, which would be like the Honda XR650L, DR650, the KLR 650, the KTM 690 Enduro R, the Husqvarna 701 Enduro. These bikes are going to be lighter, going to be anywhere from 50 pounds to 100 pounds lighter than the adventure bikes. So obviously you're going to get more versatility out of these bikes, so you're going to be able to take them to more off-road applications. They're still fairly low maintenance, and basically, with these bikes, they have, they still got good amount of power. They're not as powerful as adventure bikes, but for off-road and stuff, you don't need a lot of power at all, guys. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a 1000cc bike engine in a freaking dual sport. That's way too much power. Power can be a hindrance even. Woo! I would choose probably the KTM 690 Enduro R or the Husqvarna 701 Enduro because these bikes have a ton of power to them. They got more power than the XR650L and the DR650, KLR 650, I believe. And they still have fairly low maintenance compared to like this bike and street legal dirt bikes. But the drawback, with the 690 and Enduro R and the Husqvarna 701, these 600s, they still have, they have more capability to go, mess around off-road. But that's not a bike that you're going to want to spend a lot of time on gnarly. You're not going to want to take those on gnarly trails either, or at least you're not going to want to do it for too long. Because heavier bikes, like I said, tire you out faster. You drop it, you pick it up a few times, wrangling that big heavier bike through when you go in the woods, man, it's a serious cardio workout, and you want as least amount of weight as possible. But those bikes can do it in short stints, you know what I'm saying? But that's not a bike that you want to go do cross country in the woods on, because you will get tired out fast. But if you want to do a little bit of everything, that's a great, the Husky 701, the KTM 690, that would be my choice. But the other one, DR650, KLR 650, those are good. KLR 650, I think the DR 650, those are like, I think one of them's like 430 pounds or something. And the Husky 701, the KTM 690 is a lot lighter. They're sitting at like 350, 360 pounds. So you're going to be able to have a lot more capability off-road. You're gonna have a lot more capability off-road with the lighter those 600s. And a lot of people love those bikes. I don't really trust the reliability of KTM and Husqvarna, but they're getting better. I hear they're getting a lot better. But personally, I was gonna buy one. I was set to buy one, but it didn't go through because the KTM dealer, wouldn't prep it within a week for me. He said like 2 to 3 weeks, which is ridiculous. And I was going on a trip in my bug out van, so I said forget it, and I ended up getting a WR250R, and I'm glad I went with the WR250R. And that brings me to the next class of bikes, is the 400cc and lower, the 400s and the 250s, like the Suzuki DRZ 400, WR250R, XT250, Yamaha XT250, the Kawasaki KLX 250. I mean, these bikes are low maintenance, super low maintenance, of course, and but they're a bit more capable because they're lighter weight, but they are they lack in power, compared to like the street legal dirt bikes, which I'll get to in just a moment. They lack more power. I have a WR250R, as you guys know. I've taken it in raw woods. I do short stints. I wouldn't do real long, mess around for too long in the raw woods, because it is super tiring. But you can do it on that bike. You can do it with the DRZ 400, but the DRZ 400 is a bit heavier at 320. But you can still do it. I see a lot of people messing around. And this thing rips. I love it, baby. A lot of people go with it. I love the DRZ 400. It has a bit more power than the WR250R. Not a whole bunch more though. I modded my WR250R to 330 horsepower, but it's still like a mule compared to this bike. This bike just absolutely freaking ripped. But this is just 100% raw dirt bike here, so it's not fair to really even compare them. But that just, it's like night and day. But we got some corner action here. Look at here. See, with the SuperMoto, you can take around these corners like that without great confidence, no problems. And if you're low-sided, you can pick it up because they're super durable. You can beat on it and pick it right back up. Man, I love this bike. But that's why I recommended the WR250R. I say it's the best. Because it also is fuel injection. The DRZ 400 has a carburetor. Here in Ohio, it's cold. A lot of the times, and carburetors don't act right, in cold weather sometimes. And you got to warm it up and do this and do that. And of course, you got the extra weight and all. The KLR 250, I believe it's not as powerful as the WR250R. It's the same weight, 290 pounds. But all of these bikes, like I said, the Yamaha XT250 is even slower than the WR250R, but it is air-cooled. It's a more simpler bike. It actually sits a bit lower, the seat height, for you shorties out there that worried about seat height. And by the way, also the Honda CRF 250L, I don't want to forget that bike. That's a fantastic bike, but that bike lacks in suspension, but a lot of people upgrade the suspension, put a better suspension on the bike. The WR250R, you can upgrade the suspension, the internals of it, like I did through GoRace.com, and it completely transforms the bike. So all of those are fantastic bikes for just general dual sporting. You could, like I said, you could get a little bit more cute in the woods. You can ride gnarly trails, and you're just not going to have that hard acceleration stomping torque like you do with this bike. Fantastic bikes though. Out of that group, like I said, I would recommend the WR250R. And the reason why people get those bikes, and all the other bikes I mentioned above, is because they're a lot lower maintenance than the street legal dirt bikes, which I'm getting to next. That's the next category is the KTM 500 EXC, the KTM 350 EXC, Beta 500 RRS. Beta has a bunch of different ones with different CCs on it, but they're all street legal dirt bikes. Some, obviously the higher power, more weight you get, and of course you got the new Honda CRF 450L, which a lot of people love. These are street legal dirt bikes, and the advantage to these bikes, see how it just reps. Oh man! And it's so lightweight. You don't understand the feeling of a lightweight bike that's super torquey and powerful. It's out of this. It's the most beautiful feeling you can have on a motorcycle. Until you experience that, you won't understand what I'm experiencing. Because a lot of you guys will say, CycleCruza, I can get on a Yamaha FZ09 and rip it, and probably can go faster than you. But you don't understand that bike is 400 plus pounds. This is 260. You know, and the torque is all at the bottom. It's all raw. And it's just, whoa, it's beautiful, man. But anyways, the street legal dirt bikes, like I said, the advantage to these bikes, they're low weight, they're the lowest weight of all the dual sports I mentioned. These are basically dirt bikes that they put emissions crap on and put lights, turn signals, and a horn on it. That's basically what it is. So you're gonna get still some nice torque and power, and you can unleash more power, restore the power by doing some modding on the bike. Of course, it's gonna cost more money, and so you can plate it in any state, any of the states, and all, you know, no problem whatsoever. Got some more corner action back here again, baby. Woo! That's, I love the SuperMoto, man. Confidence in the corners. Take it real extreme loads. But anyways, the reason why I caution against getting a street legal dirt bike is because they have higher maintenance. These bikes have the maintenance is rated in hours, like this bike. 15-hour oil changes. You have to check the valves, I think, like every 15 to 30 hours. Top in at 100 plus hours. So it's gonna get real costly if you ride the bike a ton. If you're using it as a commuter bike, you're gonna pay a fortune in DOT knobbies, and you're gonna pay a fortune. And if you don't, you know, if you do it yourself, you can save a lot of money, of course. But it's still gonna be costly because you're gonna have to order the parts. And if you get the KTMs and the betas, I think the parts aren't too bad. KTM is more expensive. The Honda CRF 450L's probably got cheaper parts. Out of that group, and there's a lot more too, a lot more street legal dirt bikes that I'm naming. I'm just naming some main ones. Woo! Woo! I love it, baby. Oh man, feels good, baby. So you have to understand that. So for those of you guys that want to go to maybe mess around at your local trails, you can take those and do long distance cross country trail riding on that. You can mess around, raw dog it in the woods like I do with my WR 250R. You can rip it around on the streets out here. Understand those DOT knobbies, like on the rear, it's going to wear out really fast with all that torque if you're really ripping on them like I do. That's why I have the SuperMoto wheels on here with these Shinko 705s. I can rip around here. These tires are going to last, but yet I can still go mess around in the woods and off-road, and I won't get stuck in mud. But it won't have as much grip as the DOT knobbies. So, and also, of course, the next tier, the last tier of dual sports is, of course, if you take a dirt bike and make it street legal like I did. Street legal dual sport like I did with this YZ, which I did a full build series if you want to learn how to do it. The advantage to that is you're getting full raw power out of the box, no emissions crap that you have to try to get rid of and change the ECU. You don't have to change the ECU, none of that crap, none of the modding. Just all you got to do is put the street legal stuff, the lights, the horns, turn signals, put on the DOT tires, knobbies, or SuperMoto wheels, or whatever you want to do, as long as it's DOT rated, and get insurance out here. And in Ohio, it's super easy and cheap to do here in Ohio, but in other states you may not be able to do it, so everybody can't do that. But you can get the street legal dirt bikes like the KTM 500 EXC-F and other, you know, Beta 500 RRS modded, and you can have on nearly as much power. And these bikes, the street legal dirt bikes, by the way, they generally run like 40s horsepower and up to like 30 torque, pounds-feet of torque. And these dirt bikes, motocross bikes, and you know, cross-country bikes, they can run up to in the 50s horsepower, 35 pound-feet of torque or something like that. It just depends on the bike, and you can mod these bikes. I can mod this bike to make it even faster if I wanted to, but this thing just freaking rips. But anyways, I hope this video helps you out and clarifies things for you. And so I wish you guys all the best, but I highly recommend a dual sport for you noobs out there, and for all of you. I think everybody should have a dual sport. They're the most fun bike you can have out here, guys. But anyways, for those of you guys who want to get my gear, like this neck brace, help keep me safe, or my airbag vest that I wear with my sport bikes, my carbon fiber helmet, leather jacket, leather pants, boots, gloves, cameras, all my stuff, I always include links in the description and comment section of my videos, or go to my website CycleCruza.com and click on the menu tab, my gear, and that's
Thumbs up. Check out my playlist for new riders and popular videos. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.